Hey all you super players out here, Ben Lodice aka 5 Buck Lunch coming at you with a green-red Arrival Hercule deck. Thought this deck was pretty interesting, so I figured I'd bring it up and start a discussion with you guys. A couple things before we start. One, sorry I didn't have any videos last week. I was super sick, so I didn't get to put any videos up. Videos should be regular going forward. Also, thank you everyone for subscribing. We're over 100 subscribers now, halfway to the giveaway for a free box. So if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll be entered to win a box. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Hercule, one of my favorite leaders, he is smaller than all the other leaders. He's 5k on the front, 10k on the back. And then whenever you combo with a battle card once per battle, you can draw a card and then negate the effect for the duration of that battle. When he awakens, same thing, except he draws a card when he attacks. So basically what this allows is, instead of having that extra 5k power, you get to draw extra cards and filter through your deck. It makes him very, very good against go wide strategies, a little weaker against narrow strategies, and overall it just allows him to see a lot of cards in his deck, which we're going to utilize in this. First of all, we've got 3 Gallic Cannons. It's just a good card for fast decks. It kind of helps prevent you from losing early, which Hercule's kind of weak. He's much stronger in the later game. 2 After Image Techniques. This is just what we're using for some quasi-negates. In case we run out of energy, we don't have as many ways to untap our energy as most Hercule decks, because a lot of Hercule decks play blue, so we don't have Senzu Bean and the things of that like. So we're going to put some After Image Techniques just so we can use the sparking effect. 4 Jiren, Shackles of the Past. So we're utilizing Jiren in this deck with the fact that Hercule gets to draw a bunch of extra cards and combo with a bunch of extra cards. Allows you to filter all your 10Ks to your discard pile and utilize his effect. This helps us especially against our worst matchup, which is mill decks. You have a really hard time against your Nimbus since you're drawing so many cards, and you kind of have to draw cards to even come close to keeping up with other decks. You have a really bad mill matchup. So the fact that Jiren counters counter skills will help us in that matchup a lot. Those of you who don't know, Jiren 1-drop barrier, you can only play 1 in your area at a time. When you have 10 or more battle cards in your drop area with 10k power, at the start of your main phase for the duration of the turn, he gets plus 25, dual strike, double attack, and in order to activate counter skills, your opponent has to discard 2 cards from their hand in their drop area. So this is going to help us do our big explosion of a turn. We play 16 10k cards in here, and the fact that Hercule lets us go through our deck very quickly allows us to get to that pretty quick, usually on turn 4 or 5. 4 Infernal Emperor Friezas. When you play this, you just get to choose a card in your life, add it to your hand. This will just help us awaken. It's also a 10k card, which will help us get towards our Jiren total. 3 Swift Combo Kaioken Sun Goku. If you have 2 battle cards in your drop area with a power of 1,000, if you don't have 2 battle cards in your battle area with power of 1,000, this card can attack, so you have to have him plus 1 more. And then if you have, it's the same thing, if you have those battle cards, you can grab a life, and he gets 5k in critical. So the reason we play this is, 1, it's a 10k for our Jiren, and it's also further Awakeners. We need a lot of Awakeners in this deck if we're going to play against Purunga, because they won't attack you, and we really want to start drawing those cards when we attack. 4 Trunks the Prankster. 2-drop 10k, activate main once per turn. Place the top 3 cards of your deck in your drop area, then choose 1 battle card with energy cost of 1 and 10k power in your drop area and play it. So not only does this mill, which helps us get to our Kaioken and our Jiren, it also brings back either Swift Combo Kaioken or Infernal Emperor Frieza and helps us awaken faster. So either one of those is good, and it's just a nice utility card that gets us there. For super combos, we're playing 2 Martial Daughter Chi-Chis. So since we have a World Martial Arts Tournament leader, we can play off-color super combos, which helps with our arrivals. That's one of the good reasons to play Hercule. She's just a super combo that works with your life as 5 or less. 2 Support Attack Sun Goten. He is a red super combo, and he is 10k, which is important because it counts towards our Jiren total. Life is 4 or less. When combo, draw a card. So there's kind of a trade-off here, because you could play all 4 support attack Sun Gotens and have 2 extra 10Ks for your Jiren, but then you have less green cards for your arrivals. So it's kind of a trade-off. I'm honestly not sure which I like better, whether the extra 2 10Ks matters that much. It takes us from 16 to 18. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more testing with this. If anyone has any opinions on this, let me know whether it's more important to have the extra green combo pieces or more important to have the extra 10Ks. 3 Combo Strike Sun Gohans. So this is a card that it's kind of unique and not a lot of people are playing it because it fills a really niche in this deck. So it's a 2-drop green red card. It's a 10k power, so it helps towards Jiren. Auto once per turn, when this card attacks, you may choose one card in your hand and place it in your drop area. If you do, choose up to one battle card in your drop area that is both green and red and combo with it. I'm sorry, attacks or is attack, so you can do it in blocking as well. So what this allows us to do is have us turn any card into a green-red card for our arrivals. And it also makes it pretty hard to get rid of because it's essentially a 20k at that point. So the thing the reason we play it in this deck is it is a 10k, which is good for common with Hercule. It's a 10k power, which helps with Jiren. And it is a 1-card arrivals for our arrivals that we don't have to pay any energy for, which is really nice. Especially on the defensive, if your opponent's trying to get rid of it, you can just punish them pretty hard with some arrivals. 3 each of Infernal Villainy Cell and Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. These both have the effect of when you combo with it, you get to draw a card. Helps very well with Hercule, and they're both green and red, which helps for our arrivals. Topo Righteous Aid. This card's new out of the draft box, and it's quite frankly insane and broken. I'm going to be playing 4 of it in pretty much any deck that utilizes red. Counterattack. When it's your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this hand by 2. When it's your opponent's turn when you play this card, for the duration of the turn, your opponent can't attack unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and place them in their drop area each time. Also, counterattack, you have to discard a card for it as well. So this is just going to help us defend ourselves until we can get to playing our Kaiokens or our turn where Jiren activates. You can discard pretty much anything. You're going to have plenty of cards playing Hercule. Just a really good card. We're going to play, for our rivals, we're playing 3 each of Champa and Beerus, Capricious Gods, and Super Saiyan Gogeta Resonant Explosion. Capricious Gods is a rival for 1. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less and KO it. Then choose one of your other battle cards with energy cost of 6 or less, gains double strike for the duration of the turn. So this is just useful. It has a whole lot of utility. Can kill your opponent's battle cards even if they combo. Keep in mind, combo power isn't added to a card's power until the end of the combo phase. So if your opponent combos out on like a U6 card that's 20k or something of that like, you can just kill it with this and no damage. It also acts as a Beerus combo where you can combo with it on your and arrive it on your turn to give something double strike, which is very useful a lot of the time. Similar, Super Saiyan Gogeta, Arrival, red-green for 1 red. Has double strike. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, the energy cost of 4 or less, and KO it. And then you can't play Resonant Explosion for the duration of the turn. Once again, just cheap Arrival we can put in play that KOs things. If your opponent's not playing any cards that are 5 or higher, they're going to have a really hard time getting through this to actually hit your leader. Yeah, just solid card all around. Then we're playing 3 Super Saiyan Vegeta Exploiting Weakness. This card is also really good. Anytime you're playing a red leader, you should probably be playing this card. Counterplay, play this card. If your leader card is red, reduce the energy cost by 2. When you play this card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards. They get minus 20 power for the duration of the turn. And if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 leader card. It gains 5k power for the duration of the turn. So not only can this clear boards that are going wide, it also is a Senzu Bean essentially on your opponent's turn, which turns your leader into a standard 15k when awakened. So extremely good card for lead leaders. Play 3 of them. This is kind of our win con. It's just Kaioken Son Goku, Defender of the Earth. It's the best win con in green-red. So we're going to play 3 of them. The nice thing about this is even though you're playing Jiren and you're not milling as much as a lot of the other decks that play it, that and Kaioken, so we don't have to run 4 Kaioken. We could just run 3. Since it's more, we get cards to our discard pile by comboing rather than milling. For those of you that don't know what it does, Deflect, it's reduced to 5 if you have 20 or more red or green cards, which all of our cards are, in your discard pile. When your life reaches 1, it gains triple strike dual attack, and you can choose 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. Your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to 1 card and place it in their drop area. It gains 25k power for the duration of the turn. So, this is just our win con. We get up to 5. We'll almost always have 20 cards in our discard pile by then due to the nature of the deck. Ideally, you want to try and time it so your Jiren and your Kaioken drop on the same turn, and your opponent's going to have an extremely hard time trying to defend themselves from both of those with having to discard 2 cards for every counter they play. Lastly, we threw in the Secret Rare, SS3 Scramble, Raditz, Vegeta, and Broly. Arrival for 3 red, 2 green. And when you play it, you can choose 1 card in your life, place in your drop area, then deal 2 damage to your opponent. When your opponent combos with a battle card, energy cost 2 or less, choose up to 1 of your opponent's combo area and place it in the drop area. So essentially, this makes it so your opponent can't combo with anything 2 or less. And when it arrives, you can do 2 damage to your opponent. This is another win con with Jiren. If you drop Jiren and you drop this in the same turn, you're basically going to win because they can't really counter, which is how you stop the scramble, and you can't really combo because of the scramble because you're just going to discard all their combo pieces. So yeah, this is just a really strong, good way to play Hercule going forward. If you're interested in playing something that gets to take advantage of all of the Vegetas, especially since you have to play a red leader, it gets to play the topos. It just stalls out very well into your win cons, while also being able to play aggressively against Porunga decks with your arrivals. So yeah, it's nice because you can kind of adjust your strategy either way like that. It's just a really solid all-around deck, and Hercule, of course, is one of my favorite leaders. If you want to see another way to play Hercule, I did a deck profile that did U6 Hercule, playing blue-yellow. That was a really cool way to play it. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe. Let's get up to that 200 so I can raffle off that box, give away some more stuff. But go out there, play some Super, and have some fun.